Welcome back. So last time we successfully and safely got everyone home to the source, including Graha. And now we're going to take a break from the main story to do the Eden side story, which is the investigation into the empty that Reen and Thancred had been doing since the end of the main portion of Shadowbringers. It does extend a little past the point where we took them home, but not in a way that spoils anything that is still to come in the main story. So here we go. Let's get started. In the middle of nowhere. Ah, Oscar. Have you seen Reen? She's been looking for you. Wait here. I'll go and get her. Okay. Hi, Reen.
There you are. The truth is, I need your help.
Okay.
Now hold on. I haven't even told you what it is yet. Ahem. After you defeated Emmett Selk, I sensed a strange concentration of light, somewhere far to the south. In the empty, the lands that were once swallowed by the flood.
What is it?
I can't tell what it is, but we have to find out. For all we know, it might even be another Light Warden. But whatever it may be, I don't intend to stand by and watch. Sorry, getting ahead of myself. Thancred, Urianger, and I have a few theories that we plan to test once we find whatever's causing this. The three of us were reluctant to ask for your help, considering everything that you've been through. The thing is, you're the only person who can defeat a Light Warden without becoming one yourself, so we have no choice. While we don't want to jump to conclusions, it would be a good idea to have you there, just in case. So, will you come with us?
Of course. Wouldn't have it any other way.
Thank you, Oscar. This means a lot. First of all, let's head to the Derrick and Amarang. Thancred and Urianger should have everything ready by now.
So, the Derrick is near the inn at Journey's Head. So that's where we will go. On my battle snowman. Howdy, y'all.
I hope the desert creatures didn't give you too much trouble on the way here.
I doubt they posed any sort of challenge to her. Would that I could say the same with confidence about whatever fiend may be waiting for us out there. Even if the light that Reen sensed turns out to be nothing of consequence, the empty is hardly the most welcoming of places. Anything that can survive out there is not to be trifled with. Moreover, it should be reiterated that the light-blasted wasteland poseth as severe a threat as any foe we might face. In any event, we are in agreement that this phenomenon doth warrant investigation, though for lack of more precise means of navigation, we must needs rely on Reen's innate abilities to guide us. I have formed several hypotheses regarding the nature of the light, but speculation is a poor substitute for first-hand observation.
There'll be plenty of time for us to talk about it on the way. Is the Sky Slipper ready, Thancred?
Ready to take us wherever we need to go, aye? Back again too, maybe, if we ask it nicely. Though the light hath been expunged from Norgrant, the ambient ether of the empty is still corrupted, dangerously so, in fact. The flood of light devastated everything in its wake, the soil, the air, the water, all rendered incapable of supporting life. 'Tis due to this imbalance that the empty remaineth utterly uninhabitable, even a century thereafter. That's why we're taking every possible precaution. Between the etherometers I've packed and Reen's unique abilities, we should be able to detect and measure any fluctuations in our alignments. According to the Crystarium scouts, a few days out there won't affect us to any noticeable degree, but much longer than that, and we risk becoming sin eaters. Since we still don't know how Chocobos and Amuro will fare in the empty, we opted for a more mechanical mode of transportation. This comes courtesy of the researchers at the Mean, who found it in the Crystal Tower and restored it to working order.
It's quite safe, I promise. The person in charge said he'll have parts delivered from the Crystarium should anything break. He seemed quite eager to see what we bring back from the empty, even though I told him we're not hunting for treasure. I'll introduce you if we have a chance to stop by Mold Souk at some point. Anyway, I think that covers everything. When you're ready to leave, just say the word.
So we'll be doing the normal mode of the fights involved in this story. This Sky Slipper is available as a mount, as a reward from the Savage mode of the fights. But those are hard and require a group of people who are not just randomly pulled together. Like, you need to have a group you've worked with, and everybody knows their job and what they need to be doing.
Well then, shall we?
Yes. With a name like the Empty, I wasn't expecting much in the way of pleasant scenery. This is downright depressing. To look on the land swallowed by the flood with mine own eyes, to the chilling sight indeed. Approximately 9/10 of this world are as this, a slate all but wiped clean. Were it not for the warriors of darkness in Nymphilia. Reen, are you sure we're heading in the right direction?
Yes, I'm certain. There's no telling how far away it is, though.
Nothing for it but to keep going, then. You two back there may as well take a nap. I have a feeling we've a good few moms ahead of us. Dankard's got himself a hover convertible. I have to say, it's a touch larger than I was expecting. And is it sleeping? Oh. What is that?
No, it's waking up.
I don't like the sound of that. Is it a light warden?
No, I don't think so. Instead of being filled with light, it is light.
The first Sin Eater. Long have I strived to unravel the mysteries surrounding the flood of light, to discover what set that terrible cataclysm in motion. Every thread led to the same conclusion, the same single point. Or single being. I have reason to believe that the entity we see before us is the first Sin Eater, the instigator of the flood, the very foe Nymphilia vanquished a century ago. She gave everything she had, and won. But this abomination could undo her work. Aye, the possibility cannot be denied, though it is oft said that destruction and creation are but two sides of the same coin. Reen, knowest thou of what I speak?
The power to shape reality, to bend the laws of nature, for what was once shattered may be forged anew.
That's all well and good, but don't you think we should give it a name first?
Eden.
Utopia, in Fae, a most auspicious title. Now that that's settled, perhaps we should find a spot to set up camp. I even brought a couple of tents on the off chance. But pitching the damn things is something of a fine art. Does anyone fancy helping me? It's just out there, laying there. Green?
I never realized that putting tents up could be such a bother. Still, I'm glad that we got there in the end. Thancred should be back from scouting the area soon. Once he's here, we can plan our next move.
Bum, 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 ba-dum. During the course of your investigation, you may discover valuable artifacts. These can be exchanged for equipment by speaking with Gulgul in Mordsud, or Yal Yal in Yulmore. Rewards for the fights are what they're talking about. Deploy the core.
I wonder what's taking Thancred so long. Ah, there he is.
Well, that was rather uneventful. Not that I'm complaining.
Did you find anything?
No, thankfully. There's naught but barren plains in every direction. Apart from Eden, obviously. I tried approaching it, and the brute didn't even seem to notice me. I thought it best not to tempt fate, so I withdrew.
We should act now, before it's fully awake.
Meaning what, exactly?
When I think about the flood of light, I get the feeling that rather than destroying everything in its path, what it actually did was stop the flow of ether. Of course, that meant that all the plants and animals and people here could no longer survive. They must have crumbled into dust in the years since. But the ether is still here, lying dormant. If Eden is the one that caused it, maybe it can get it flowing again. I don't know for certain, but I think I can use Eden to bring life back to the empty.
Now hold on a moment. What makes you think that's even possible? And how do you expect to control that kind of power? Reen's aspirations may not be as preposterous as thou dost surmise. I believe Minfilia halted the flood of light's advance not by destroying Eden, but by silencing it. And in so doing, she hath gifted us an opportunity too precious to waste. Even now, the flame of hope burns on. Aye, as Minfilia's successor, it standeth to reason that Reen doth possess the means to exert her will over Eden. But such a monumental task is not to be taken lightly. What sayest thou, Asuka? I imagine it's easier said than done.
Yes, you're probably right, but I have to try.
Very well, Reen. You've made up your mind, so how should we go about this?
have an idea. I've been studying it carefully ever since we arrived, and it seems to me that the light is more concentrated at a certain point. I suppose you could call it the core. That giant Talos had a core too, like a beating heart. It controlled the flow of ether. If Eden's core is the same, perhaps we could use it to restore the etheric balance?
The theory is certainly sound. By employing Ethernet shards as beacons, mayhap we could trace the ethereal flow to Eden's core, and in so doing, secure the means to teleport to the very heart of the beast. Thankfully, the Settlement Council has kindly furnished us with a plethora of apparatus by which to perform such feats. However, we must first needs have Reen study the entity's interior and chart us a suitable course. Once we have reached our destination, I shall fabricate a means by which you may directly communicate with Eden, and mayhap exert a measure of control over it.
You can really do that, Urianger.
All credit is due to a dear friend, a gentle soul long since departed, who imparted to me a wealth of knowledge concerning etherology. He means Moonbreeder. Although I am certain she would be all too quick to chastise my methodology.
Excuse me for interrupting this trip down memory lane, but I don't imagine that Eden will be too happy about us rummaging around in its innards, for want of a better term. In all seriousness, though, I wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of welcoming party arranged for intruders. Perhaps you'd best lead the way, Asuka. It's true that she's the only one who can defeat a Light Warden, but I'd rather not rely on her any more than we have to. Yes, I haven't forgotten what happened when she absorbed too much light, but as Alize said, making promises you have no way of keeping is not a kindness. Now, I wish I could put down wardens myself. The simple fact is I can't. There's no point pretending I can, and that's why I'm asking Asuka. Then perhaps I could... You already have a job to do, remember? The only reason this plan even has a chance of success is because of your involvement. We need you to concentrate on the task at hand and guide us to the core. Not only that, you'll have to keep an eye on Eden itself. If we somehow manage to make it angry, get us out of there. Are you sure you want to go through with this? This is what I do best. I won't let you down. Though we will remain here, Reen and I shall do our utmost to guide thee along the ethereal stream. After thou hast breached the exterior, we shall remain in contact via these link pearls, courtesy of our comrades in the Crystarium. Being relics salvaged from the Crystal Tower, I fear they may be somewhat less reliable than those to which thou art accustomed. Oh. So I've already done them all. That's why we can do them in New Game Plus. But so we start with the very first one. Ooh, that's gonna take a while. All right, we'll pause the recording while we wait for a group. We got in real quick. Surprised. Eden's Gate Resurrection. This is the inside. Be careful. Huge amounts of ether are rushing to the core. Wait, what's that? Keeper of Knowledge, Eden Prime. Is the name of who we're fighting.
go. It has been a while since I've done this fight, but you know, follow the standard rules of avoiding enemy attacks. Big but all thingy on me. Almost didn't make it out of that because I was slowed down by having been hit by that big blue lightning thingy. Even have some first timers here, which is fine. Everybody has to go through it, you know, at some point. Make sure we have to be behind it for this. Yep, we did. So that's a fun one when there's a thing on the floor you have to avoid, and you've got a circle around you that's targeting you. So you have to try to avoid the stuff while not dropping that circle on any of your friends. Attacks all over the place. And then it's in the corner again, which means getting behind it.
Got big.
And it summoned buddies. I do more damage to one than I do to them when I attack them both at the same time. Underneath it, or above it, I mean. What's it doing? What? It's frozen us. Did it just cast a spell on top of the whole planet? It turned the planet into a cannon. Shot us into a different galaxy and destroyed it. That doesn't seem good for that other galaxy that we just got shot through. But long events like that are a way of fight saying, hey, it's about to get more intense, so we're going to give you a chance with all of your abilities with long cooldowns to reset. decided it wants to use this corner for that ability, that attack now, where it sweeps the whole arena. So, I don't know if I've mentioned it before, but those area attack markers on the floor, you just have to be out of it before it goes away. You can go immediately back into that spot as it animates the actual attack and be fine. Well, we defeated it. Now we've got victory cutscene. I'm gonna go ahead and greed everything. I don't actually need any of it, but you know, it might be interesting to see if I get some gear. I guess I could have needed it, but it's fine. Alright, we're back out. Hey, Reen. It seems that Thancred's prediction about there being some sort of guardian was right. Thankfully, there's nothing that you couldn't handle. And I'm glad to say that you haven't absorbed any light either. So far, so good. Now that the way is clear, the Ethernet shards can send us to the core and back whenever we need. Why don't we give them a try? Proceed to the core. Once Urianger has activated the device, it's my turn. The time hath come, Reen. Watch over me, Minfilia. Is this supposed to happen? Eden is offering considerable resistance. Not now. Not when I'm so close. Urianger! I am unharmed, but what of Reen? No, you listen to me. Reen, be careful. Now what in the hay is going on? She's woken it up. There's also a mount from the Savage version of these fights that looks like that. Let's take a look around. It's cool. Hey, Reed. One fell swoop. It worked. I'm in control now. I think. Although I'm now linked to Eden, I still need to figure out how to give it commands. Pray tell, what caused it to convulse so violently? It must have been when Eden rose into the air. I'm still struggling to stop it from drifting too far from the camp. Even now thou art. What? Reen, what's going on? Above us. Something's coming this way. An enemy. But how dost thou... could it be a Sin Eater? I can't see them clearly, but no, that's impossible. What is it? They're inside, too. Lots of them, trying to reach the core. Uninvited guests, eh? If I'd known they were coming, I would have tidied the place up. Japes are a poor substitute for a viable stratagem. In that case, I suggest you and I deal with the ones who are already inside. And Osaka can welcome our airborne adversary. Reen, find out if Eden has any defenses we can make use of. Preferably ones that don't recognize us as the enemy. I'm not sure about that, but I can use the ether currents to send you wherever you need to go. That's my girl. Alright, everyone. We've got work to do. From what I can tell, Eden is able to form simple structures by redirecting ether, so I'll try to give you something to stand on. When you're ready, head for that portal over there. So unlike the Alliance 24-person raids where you have like an extra big dungeon, these are four fights separated by cutscenes and such. So we are on descent. And we'll pause while we wait for this queue to pop. Wow, that took almost 2 hours. But we're in. Finally. I could just record. There's a way to just watch the cutscenes, but like that doesn't include Antithesis Manifest Voidwalker. It doesn't include the bits of dialogue that aren't in a cutscene, and you know the battles are fun. Tanks has become Dorito, which is to say they have a triangle over their head. That's what we call it when someone knows the fight really well, and you follow them if you're unsure of how to avoid mechanics and such. I think I've only done this fight like that means. Wasn't too bad, apparently. I've got... I don't know what that's doing. Oh, okay. I lived. We all mostly lived. This is a fight where you can fall off the edge. Oh, I see. I think I see. It's a delayed stack marker. Gotten all the way to the edge, we would have pushed off to the opposite side. Which, you know, you never want. I'm getting the hang of it. That is a big hand. Everybody got those. Dragon thingies that we gotta avoid. We've almost done it. We did it! Well, whatever that thing was just dropped the little armored person it was. Player. Need all this stuff. Because you know, might be worth trying to get some gear. I think I got all of it.
Oh, hi. Oscar, thank goodness you're unharmed.
We came as soon as we took care of our unwanted guests. They were a stubborn bunch, and quite unlike anything I've seen in the first.
No, I won't let you. Damn the light. Damn you all.
Green.
Who are you? What do you want?
Why am I here? What is happening? You okay there?
She's alive, but there's something strange about her ether.
She didn't seem too pleased with Reen taking control of Eden, which may be what caused her to appear out of the blue. Beyond that, it's anyone's guess. 'Tis plain she is not a sin-eater, not even in part as Vothri was. Yet this knowledge does little to assuage my fears, for she is nonetheless possessed of a power most terrible. On the other hand, if she's feeling cooperative, she might be able to tell us more about Eden. I'll keep an eye on her until she wakes up. There's no telling what will happen when she does, but I'll make it clear that we mean her no harm. Well, no further harm at the very least. Obviously, it's not a good idea to bring her inside Eden. It's likely that reaching the core was her aim from the outset, so I'll take her to the camp.
Now that things have settled down, I should get back inside and try strengthening my link to Eden.
Okay. Green.
Although I had my hands full trying to control Eden, I caught a glimpse of your battle. Power, I've never seen anything like it.
What thou witnessed was the tearing of the very fabric of reality, the creation of a rift through which void scent may enter. But pray tell, Reen, didst thou make any other observations?
I couldn't sense any light at all in that girl or her servants. And I can't really explain how, but she reminded me of Emmet Self.
Though I think it unlikely that she is an Ascian, she may yet be thrall to Zodiac.
Maybe we'll be able to find out more once she's woken up. In the meantime, I'll try to improve my control over Eden. It seems to be listening more than before, instead of screaming at me like it was in the beginning. And that's not all. I've made an exciting discovery.
Oh. And what, pray tell, is that discovery? Nor any drop to drink.
I feel a lot more confident in my ability to control Eden now. Of course, this is only the beginning.
And we shall accompany thee wheresoever this path may lead. But pray tell, what manner of discovery hast thou made?
I understand how Eden's power works.
And therefore the true nature of the flood of light.
Yes, it affected the balance of all the ether in the empty, shifting it so far towards the umbral that it stopped flowing altogether.
The power to tip the scales.
And to tip them back again. That's what Eden does. It controls the balance of ether over a wide area, forcing it from one alignment to the other. Left alone, it still poses a threat, but if I can harness its power, I think I could use it to breathe life back into the empty. Trouble is, I haven't the foggiest idea where to start. And if I go about this the wrong way, I'll do more harm than good.
Thou needst not bear this burden alone, nor should thou. 'Tis no simple matter of awakening that which lies dormant. All things in nature are inextricably linked. The elements maintain a fragile harmony, without which life cannot prosper.
So, what should we do?
A solution hath begun to take shape in my mind, though it will require further discussion. For the time being, let us return to the camp. It would be remiss of us not to involve Thancred.
Okay.
Oh, we're back at camp already. My friends, I believe I have struck upon a method by which we may see this world restored. Oriange, before you go any further, allow me to make a potentially very long story slightly shorter. The plan is to control Eden and realign the ether of the empty, right? In essence, yes. However, unleashing elemental energies haphazardly will not suffice. In addition, the empty is unfathomably vast. Were we only able to effect change over one small region at a time, it would take many lifetimes to complete even a fraction of our task. Instead, our energies would be better spent revitalizing each element in order, that we might set in motion a more widespread transformation.
One at a time. I hate to say this, but I don't think Eden will be able to draw out a single element without affecting the others.
For that very reason, we shall select a location in which the ambient ether we wish to restore is at its most potent. Even in a dormant state, certain elements will be more prevalent and therefore more easily manipulated. Then we rebalance the ether and return it to the land, whereupon it shall be borne on ethereal currents to the farthest reaches of the empty.
But what's to prevent that element from breaking free of Eden's hold and causing a disaster of some sort?
It must needs be contained. The question is, how? Asuka, indulge me a moment if thou wouldst. Pray imagine a corporeal manifestation of each of the individual elements. What dost thou see in thy mind's eye? Surely not. Mayhap thou art afeard to utter the fateful word, for to even speak the name primal is to invite misfortune. Though invite it we must, as the ether is drawn forth and realigned by Eden, we shall perform a summoning as Master Louis Soir once did on the fields of Carteneau. As one who hath laid low countless primals, thy memories will shape the ether into a deiform entity, which must subsequently be dispersed in the traditional fashion.
So, defeat it, in other words. Is that even possible?
I break my fast on primals. Lest thou forget, 'twill be no more than an approximation of a foe thou hast previously bested. I have every confidence in thine abilities, Oscar. As do I, though it might help to have some idea of what you will be up against. Have you decided which element to tackle first? I propose water, the source of all life. As for the location, an area to the west of Norvrant,
was once home to the world's deepest ocean. Alas, the flood of light reduced it to a yawning chasm. Water, yes. That seems like a good choice. I'll see if Eden can take us where we need to go. And I shall prepare for the summoning. Thancred, wouldst thou keep watch over our enigmatic antagonist? She may have vital information to impart. In the event that she becometh agitated, thou mayest have need to restrain her. Someone's got to do it, I suppose. I'll be praying for your success while I wait here, twiddling my thumbs. Still, I must say I don't envy you being caught up in yet another one of Oriange's madcap schemes. Though, come to think of it, the creature you must fight is born from your own memories and imagination. Why don't you try thinking of something a bit tamer than the primals you've fought in the past? Perhaps that's not how it works. Anyway, best of luck. So the plan is to take Eden from one place to the next throughout the empty to, like, for instance, a place where water ether is super prevalent, albeit stagnant. Summon the primal associated with that element to focus that ether, and then kill the primal to disperse all of that ether back into the land and get it flowing again. And we'll go talk to Reen in the core. Eden seems to be responding well to my instructions, so we should reach our destination in no time at all. Alright, this is the place. I'll see if I can draw out the water aspected ether. The rest is up to you, Oscar. Memories of Leviathan come flooding back. Alright, but that's about enough time for one episode, so that is where we'll end this one, and pick back up next time.